Hi guys, welcome to new video. So today we'll continue with the series of walkthrough of my project where I recreated the Knights and Merchants Shattered Kingdom campaign. And today we have the second mission. So again, nothing to set up here. Let's just click start. Of course, you can always see your enemies here. So in this mission we will be playing just 1v1 against the blue enemy, who is called Valheim. Again, there will be opening animation, so I will mute myself and let you listen to it.
Thy victory hath given us hope, but the time for revelry is not yet upon us. The enemy hath retreated in defeat to a village nigh to thy location, whereat they form anew. The prince shall soon once more force battle upon us, as his rogue forces by far outnumber thy stalwart fighters. Control thine anger, and let not thyself be lured into open battle. The terrain is suited for defensive tactics on thy part. The enemy must needs cross the river at the narrow ford. Shouldst thou attack him there, thine inferior numbers shall be equal to his greater force.
Yeah, so that was the introduction animation, and right now, as you can see in this mission, you have quite a lot of soldiers, so we actually cannot start creating peasants immediately. We will have to make some farms first, but also you have to keep in mind that in this mission enemies will attack you quite fast, so we will definitely need to make some soldiers. But you can actually defend yourself from the first attack just with the starting army. So again, shouldn't be too big of a problem. And as you can see, we have X-Mens, militia, and archers. So that will be our army here. Again, you can go exploring right now, but of course I know how the map looks like since I created it. So I will just position myself. I think the best position to fight them is just right here in the open field, because you will have more soldiers, I would say, so shouldn't be too big of a problem to defeat them here. For example, in Knights and Merchants, I will just position my archers probably up here or closer to the fort, but right now I think this will be the best position. Also, I can create a super group and we can continue building our farms. Also, one thing I should mention is what I actually mentioned in the last video as well, and actually my peasant got stuck here, and that is that you can transform your peasants to militia here. So if you press this button, your peasant will become a militia, so he will gain like 7 more damage, I would say, but he will no longer be able to build buildings and mine resources, and you cannot revert that change. So always keep in mind that transforming to militia is only when you are like in big danger and there is no other way to fight your enemies. Again, we received a message. Again, we can open it here in the chat. If we miss it, it will stay up for 10 seconds, but you can go here and read it again. So our scouts inform us that the enemy is preparing an attack against us, and we definitely need to repel them with the trusty sword. So quite funny, but I think it should be pretty okay. We can easily defend it with this, so I can just focus on my economic and create more farms. You cannot upgrade your town hall in this mission. You have just 4 buildings, so it's pretty straightforward. You want to create barracks, so you can start making X-Mens, and then once you build blacksmith, you will also unlock the ability to recruit some archers and pikemans. There are already some scouts against you in this mission, which are horses, so pikemen will be countering them, but I think your enemy won't have too many of them, and he will actually use probably most of them in the first fight, where you won't be able to make any pikemans that early, so probably don't need too many pikemans in this mission, but if you want to create some it should be okay, but I will mainly focus on making X-Men and archers. Also, I was talking about levels in last mission, where, for example, archers can be leveled up to gain an aura, but X-Men and Pikemen are the only unit, or together with militia, that doesn't have levels. So you cannot level those units, but you can level archers and scouts, and then all elite units, which will be the stronger units that are equivalent to iron units in knights and merchants. So right now we just built one more farm. We are already making barracks. Here you can see X-Men, archers and pikemans, but we'll also need a blacksmith to make anything else than X-Men. Maybe also might be a good idea to start mining some gems, but I don't think we need it yet. And as you can see, my enemy already attacked me, so here are the scouts, and he's also attacking with some X-Men and militia. But as you can see, I'm just using this white space, so I can use all my units at once while shooting them with my archers. And also, as you can see, I already leveled up one of my archers to level 4, so that's also pretty good. Maybe I will bring 2 of my X-Men here, so he doesn't kill everything and doesn't rush my archers. Your archers are actually pretty squishy, so you have to keep in mind that, but once they are leveled up, they will gain lots of HP, so leveling up your units for this purpose is also pretty important. So I can actually tank some damage with my level 5 archer here and just defeat all enemies. So as you can see, we easily defended ourselves. You can definitely play it even better, so you don't lose so many units, but it's actually pretty easy right now, I would say. You can easily destroy your enemy before he attacks again, so this should be pretty okay. I think the population here is uncapped, or I mean 200 population, which is the normal cap. The only mission where it was changed was the first mission, so we can create how many units we want, but definitely we don't have to make that many units. Probably like 80 population or something will be enough. I will just create probably one group of X-Men, one group of archers, and maybe some pikemans as well.
I live to serve.
So this is pretty okay. There are no expansions in this mission, so you are just playing with this one base. The only other mines you could find here are in the enemy town, and I mean once you get there you can easily destroy all enemy buildings and win. Also there are some upgrades for your archers, so you can upgrade your damage and armor. Everything is written in the file that I talked about in the release video of this campaign, but I will mention everything again. Here you can see that the description is unchanged because you cannot actually change that in the editor, so it's still talking about elf rangers and things like this, but you have to always look at the title, and as you can see, that's archers and crossbowmen armor and damage, so crossbowmen will be the elite unit, and right now we have archers here. So always look at the titles, and you should always know what you're upgrading and creating. Right now we have quite a lot of population. Also seems like I have more than enough of peasants. So maybe we can create one more barracks.
Let's do it.
Since we cannot upgrade our barracks to advanced barracks, it will be just the best option for us to create more of them. So we can spam our units faster. And also I can regroup my army, go a little bit closer to the fort, and then we can attack them from here. You can safely explore your map here, nothing will happen to you. The only dangerous place is behind the fort right here, because there are enemy units. The bottom part of this map here is just wildlife. Yeah, there are some trees, mountains. So again, don't have to go there, but if you want, you can. I think the wildlife is pretty decently done here. I was trying to maintain basically every detail that I could, so if you compare the map in Knights and Merchants and this mode, you should probably find mushrooms at the same place and some trees. Basically everything. I mean, the only time where I changed something was when it was just totally breaking or destroying the playability of the mission. So sometimes you were just not able to build somewhere or something. So then I had to change some position of a tree or something, but if I could, I just try to maintain basically everything the same. Yeah, so all those rocks, branches, everything should be at pretty similar position. Of course, there are just free resources. Yeah, Knights and Merchants is much more complicated game where you have to develop your town for many minutes or even hours. So that's definitely different, but the things I could make similar, I tried to do that, and where I couldn't, I just made it somehow playable. So yeah, right now we are just creating more units. Nothing more to talk about here. We are getting closer to our population cap, so maybe a good idea to create at least one farm here. The terrain here is really uneven, so you cannot build everywhere, but you should be able to find enough space for your barracks. As you can see, I built 3 of them here, and you could definitely build some more up here. Yeah, for example here, or even closer to the fort. Maybe not here, but here on left there is some free space, and all of your farms should easily fit down here between the trees. So there should be enough building space. You shouldn't need anything more, but of course you will still need to find those places. Yeah, you cannot place it anywhere. Right now I don't see anything more we should do. I upgraded both of those researches that upgraded my archers, so we can easily see it here with this little one icon. So the baseline was just 10 damage and 0 armor. Now we have 11 damage and 1 armor. And let's actually count our units. Seems like we have 9 X-Men and already a full group of archers. Actually, I'm creating more of them here, but we will want more X-Men actually. So I will just remove those and create more X-Men. And also, it would be probably a good idea to create one more barracks, because I still have lots of resources while maintaining the production in all 3 barracks. So definitely probably might be a good idea to create more barracks. I think you can even have 5 of them, but maybe you won't be able to maintain the production in all of them all the time. We ran out of population, so a little mistake from me that I didn't see it earlier, but I mean it takes only like 35 seconds to build one farm, so it should be easily fixed. And I mean, once we make a little bit more units, we will attack our enemies. Also, pretty important thing, you should be saving your missions. So we can just easily go here and save. It's recommended definitely to create more saves, at least I would say at least one for each mission, but I would even go further than that and create a new save for each time you save the game. So you can have like 10 saves for each mission or something. It might get a little bit messy, but you can create folders for that or delete it after you complete the campaign. But you definitely don't want to like attack or something after creating army for like half an hour or something, and then just die and lose and start over. So I would definitely recommend you to save the game. every 5 minutes or something, so you don't have to worry about doing some serious mistake that will cost you the game, especially if you are playing it for the first time and you didn't read the text file that I gave you. Then you probably won't know what's gonna happen, so probably good idea to save pretty often. Of course, I created it, I know exactly what's going to happen at what time, so it's much easier for me. I should not make any serious mistakes, but still probably a good idea even for me to save it from time to time. Also, maybe the game can drop, yeah, you can have electricity blackout or something, and you would have to start over. So just save your games and we will be safe. I think right now we have enough units to attack, so let's actually try it. I will just make the third group here, and of course we can still keep making more units during the fight, but I will try to attack. So before attack again, I will save my game, and let's go right this way. And as you can see, he has quite lots of units, but that's not everything. He's actually forming his army somewhere around here, and that's actually the army that will attack you if you wait for too long. So as you can see, also has some scouts here, but I mean we are attacking pretty fast, so he won't have the time to attack us. Also, here's some archers here, so probably want to attack them first, because as I mentioned, archers are pretty squishy. If he has level 1, he has only 60 HP and 0 armor with no upgrades, so we should be easily able to kill him. Since we have archers level 5 here, we already have the strongest aura, that is giving us 2 more attack, and of course, if he starts shooting me back, I still have much more HP with those levels, so we should be easily able to defeat him. But as you can see, I just lost all of my melee units, so I also need to be careful here. As you can see, he's also leveling up some of his units, so you want to always kill the units with auras first, so they are not buffing the other units. But as you can see, the army I used was enough. Right now I will just go here and destroy the advanced barracks, because or otherwise he will be creating units, and that will be just more difficult for me to finish him, so I will just destroy this first, maybe kill any units he make, and after that you also want to destroy stables, because he can of course make more scouts there. That's also one more thing to keep in mind, that some of those buildings are renamed. So of course this is originally the gnome workshop, but right now it's stables. Oh yeah, for example, this building is called barn. I mean barracks, farm, and your main building have the same name from Armies of Exigo, but those advanced buildings for scouts and all the elite units have different names. So also you can read that in the text file, or just read it in the game yourself. Right now I'm just creating more X-Mens. Those are actually the best units you can be making. Of course elite units will be better, but right now those are the best units you can be making against buildings, because they have the bash damage type, and most buildings have increased damage taken from bash. As you can see, the building is taking 150%, so it will be 50% faster than if you are using other units. So definitely want to utilize this. Right now I will just fix my groups and finish everything here. Also, as you can see on the minimap, or just here, you cannot even select those buildings. Those are just gray. They are just creating the environment of this village, but you don't have to, and you also can't destroy them. So just click attack move through the town, and it will automatically destroy everything that you can destroy, and you should be safe. So again, pretty straightforward mission, really easy, but of course we are still in the beginning, so cannot expect anything too difficult. And if you go through the file that I mentioned and gave you in the release video, you can read the approximate difficulty of each mission there, so you could, so you know what you can expect. Again, completed objective, we got the victory sound, and now we can take a look at the results. As I mentioned, the resources are irrelevant because they are starting with 10k of each resource. Buildings, we built something. I mean, the only quite interesting thing are units. So as you can see, we created much more units, killed much more, and he actually had the largest army, but I mean that didn't really help him because he attacked with like half of his army in the beginning, and we were able to defeat him there. So yeah, I think it was also pretty fast mission. And next time we'll take a look at the third mission, and that will be actually the first fighting mission. So again, I will explain that in the next video, but that will be actually even faster than this because we won't be making any army there. We'll just start with army from the beginning. So yeah, take care guys.